And I guess with no further ado, Jamal Newman is an awesome host. He's a stand-up comic here, based in the DC area. You've probably seen him at some shows around town. He is frequently a performer and host, and my friend Jeff Hughes, he has some Happy Buddha shows at the DC Art Center, and he has a couple of shows coming up. We're going to get some mentions for those in a couple of weeks. But for no further ado, he's hilarious, he's awesome, Jamal Newman.
Thank you. My dad is a huge Star Trek fan. I know my dad's a Star Trek fan because my sister is actually named after a character on Star Trek. And this kind of serves as a daily reminder that I'm not the favorite child. I can't be. You can't have such a discrepancy in names and say that you love your children the same amount. My sister's name is Droxine. You laughed at that. That's a person's name, sir. Her name is Droxine. That's her real name. D-R-O-X-E-N-E. That is her real name. Droxine. Jamal. I'm 28 years old. I've never met another Droxine. I've never even met another person who's met another Droxine. And I've been to Cancun. So. But I can't tell you guys how many Jamals I think I passed on the way here tonight, just on the escalator. There's a discrepancy in our names, and I remember it bothered me so much that I had to figure out how my parents came up to name my sister Droxine. So I went home one day and I saw my mom sleeping on the sofa, and I decided today's the day. I'm gonna wake her up and I'm going to ask her how she came up with my sister's name. Now, I don't know how many people here have experienced waking up black women from their sleep. I can only liken it to purposely jumping into the lion's den at the zoo. The only difference being this lion supposedly loves you. But I'm thinking my mom doesn't sleep correctly. I'm thinking there's a problem. Because when I sleep, I don't know about you guys, but when I sleep, I'm fully relaxed. I'm in a neutral state, all right? I'm calm, I'm relaxed. When my mom is asleep, her body is at rest, but her face is very much awake. Very much awake, right? My mom sleeps with a face that's like she's paying bills in her dreams. Like that's the face she sleeps with. Like Capital One credit card. I don't remember applying for a Capital One credit card. Like that's the face she makes. My mom sleeps with the face you make when you hear the doorbell and you look through the peephole and there's two Mormons on the other side of the door. Ding dong. Like that's the face my mom sleeps with, you know? And that's her face when she's at rest, when she's asleep, all right? So I don't think you guys really comprehend how awkward her funeral is going to be one day. When she's just there staring at everybody with her face just grilling everybody. Everyone's trying to give their last goodbyes. Mom, I love you. Oh, you love me now, huh? Just staring back at me. You couldn't come visit me when I was alive, but now you came to visit me. Interesting. Everyone's trying to give their eulogy. My mom's just judging everyone. Oh, y'all can gather for this, huh? But for my birthday, a steakhouse dinner's too much. Okay. That's how my mom sleeps. Anyways, back to the story. So I wake up my mom. I wake her up and say, Mom, wake up. What do you want? And I say, Mom, how did you come up with my sister's name? It's so unique. And she looks at me and she goes, you ignored my face to ask me this? Go ask your father. Your father named your sister. Go ask him. So I have to wait a week. I go to my dad's house and I decide to ask him. Now, just to paint you a picture of what kind of person my dad was a guy who took full advantage of a time period when it was acceptable for grown men to leave their house wearing a fanny pack. All right, that's my dad. So I remember when I asked my dad, I said, Dad, tell me about how you came up with my sister's name. My dad sat me down. He said, okay, son. Black guy, by the way. Okay, son. You want to know the story of your sister's name? Well, I guess there's only one real way to start this story. captain's log. Star date, season 3, episode 21. The Star Trek Enterprise crew takes its TV viewing audience to the planet Ardana on this night, and they are going in search of Zenite to take back to Merrick 2. That's a whole other thing. Anyways, while they are there, they come across a welcoming crew, and amongst the people in this welcoming crew is a beautiful woman by the name of, I'll give you 3 guesses, the first you don't count, don't worry, I'm going to tell you it's my story, Droxine. Droxine. See what I did there, son? I-N-E. Your sister's name is E-N-E. I made it even more unique. But anyways, she's so beautiful that even Spock refers to her as a work of art. And I said, if a woman can elicit a human emotion from Spock, then she's good enough for me. And then time went by, son, and I started having dreams. And I had a dream that I had a firstborn daughter, and her name was Droxine. Droxine, I was referring to her as Droxine. And then your mother got pregnant, and we went to the hospital, and they said we were going to have a daughter. And I said, well, I have to name her Droxine, so don't you see, son? I did not name your sister. The universe did. So I took that story in, and then I immediately said, okay, well, there's got to be an equally good story for my name. So tell me how you came up with my name. And my dad looked at me and goes, oh, your name? You know what? You should ask your mother. She tells this story the best, really. So I have to wait another week. I go back, and there it is, sleeping. And I wake my mother up, and I say, Mom, wake up. Dad told me how you guys named my sister. He said I should come ask you the story of my name. And my mom looked at me and said, oh, you want to know the story of your name? Okay, have a seat. So I sat down, and I looked at my mother, and she looked at me as only a loving mother could. And she said, you want to know the story of your name, huh? Okay, well, let me see if I can remember how it goes. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was in labor with your big forehead for over 24 hours. You're lucky you got a name. Thank you, that's my time.